A holographic projection flickers to life, displaying stark, ancient script against a swirling cosmic backdrop. The words, "Genetics is forbidden knowledge to humans," appear on the holographic screen. It is the domain of GODS. To master the mystery of genes would be tantamount to mastering the power of GODS. Mendelstedt, glow with an ethereal light, then fade. Inside the vast, multi-tiered library of Central C University, Lin Feng sits hunched over a thick, worn book on genetics biology. His brow is furrowed, and his eyes scan the pages with an intense, almost desperate focus. The same quote from Mendelstedt, etched in a stylized font, greets him from the book's opening page. Lin Feng reads, and the pages conjure a stylized human figure radiating immense, contained power, bound by invisible chains in his mind's eye. The text explains that genetic locks confine infinite power, and only by shattering them can superhuman strength be unleashed. Lin Feng presses his lips into a thin line and whispers, "Genes can mutate." He reads that martial arts experts can break the genetic lock and restructure their genes to become inhumanly powerful. He wonders whether everything is built upon the premise of powerful basic genes. Frustrated, Lin Feng frowns deeply, his gaze darting across the page. His fingers fly, flipping through the book's dense pages with frantic energy, as if searching for a hidden answer. With a sigh of profound disappointment, Lin Feng snaps the book shut, the sound echoing softly in the quiet library. Lin Feng shakes his head slowly, a weary expression deepening as he ponders the hopelessness of his research. Lin Feng shakes his head slowly, his weary face reflecting the weight of his disappointment. He murmurs, as expected, "There's still no solution," his voice trembling with defeat. He declares, "The genetic martial theory emphasizes on strong basic genes," his tone edged with frustration. Only then can one practice martial arts to break the genetic lock to restructure the genes. He asks, "Is there really no way to break the genetic lock in a short period of time?" A harsh cough erupts, forcing him to hunch over and clutch his chest. Outside the library, towering holographic billboards display heroic martial artists, their forms glowing with impossible power, shattering obstacles with single blows. Faceless crowds below gaze up in awe, their silhouettes dwarfed by the monumental figures, a silent testament to the revered status of those who break the genetic lock. Lin Feng's eyes narrow, a flicker of deep anxiety crossing his face. Lin Feng clenches his fist, the pressure turning his knuckles stark white as his anxiety sharpens. Lin Feng continues to hold his fist clenched, knuckles white, his tension palpable. A stylized medical report flashes across a mental screen, displaying the words, "Atypical organ failure." The mental screen again shows the stylized medical report, the phrase "atypical organ failure" pulsing briefly. A sterile, futuristic medical scanner hums, its light passing over a young Lin Feng. The scanner continues its hum, the light still bathing the young Lin Feng as he remains still beneath it. A grim, anonymous doctor's face, shadowed and indistinct, appears on a screen and shakes its head slowly. The screen again shows the shadowed doctor's face, the head shaking slowly as before. A digital calendar flips forward rapidly, stops at age 23. Then a stark red, "Death," flashes across the screen. The calendar again stops at age 23. The red "Death," flashing sharply before fading. The flashback sequence ends, returning focus to the present. The flashback concludes, the present moment resumes in the library. A stylized DNA helix, vibrant and complex, twists and mutates into a chaotic, broken form. The DNA helix continues its mutation, the broken section pulsing with chaotic energy. Advanced medical instruments, sleek and glowing, attempt to interact with the helix, but their beams simply dissipate, useless. The glowing instruments again fire at the helix, their beams vanishing without effect. Lin Feng, transformed into a powerful martial artist, feels the glowing chains that bind his body shatter with a sudden burst of energy, his muscles rippling as raw power radiates from him. In a swift side-profile shot, Lin Feng's body erupts as the glowing chains burst apart, the explosive energy highlighting the ripple of his muscles. A vast, sprawling cityscape stretches into the horizon, its gleaming towers reaching for the sky. The camera pans across the same sprawling cityscape, emphasizing the endless line of gleaming towers under the bright sky. Beyond its protective energy shield, a desolate, untamed wilderness churns under a stormy sky, monstrous shadows hinting at the dire beasts within. A second view of the same wilderness shows the storm-racked landscape, the ominous shadows moving as the wind howls. A lone, powerful martial artist stands silhouetted against a setting sun, his form radiating an aura of immense strength, revered by countless faceless figures below. From a side perspective, the lone martial artist's silhouette glows brighter as the setting sun casts long shadows, his aura shimmering over the crowd of unseen admirers. Yet, the image quickly dissolves into a sea of ordinary faces, only one in 100,000, or even 1,000,000, glowing with that same extraordinary power. The scene repeats, showing the sea of faces again, this time emphasizing the single glowing individual among the multitude. Lin Feng's gaze drops to his own hands, his fingers tracing the lines on his palm. In the same quiet moment, Lin Feng continues to study the intricate patterns on his palm, his eyes reflecting quiet determination. He looks frail, his posture slightly slumped, a stark contrast to the powerful figures he just imagined. A second view captures the same frail figure, emphasizing his lowered shoulders and the quiet resignation in his eyes. He is weaker than an ordinary person, let alone a martial artist capable of breaking the genetic lock. In another quiet moment, Lin Feng reflects on his own weakness, the contrast to a martial artist's strength stark in his mind. Lin Feng pushes himself up from the chair, his eyes scanning the endless rows of books that line the vaulted library, a thin line of determination tracing his brow. Lin Feng pushes himself up from the chair, his eyes scanning the endless rows of books that stretch across the library, his posture tense with purpose. With renewed, desperate energy, Lin Feng darts between aisles, pulling books from the shelves and flipping through them in frantic hope, searching for any shortcut to break the genetic lock. He moves with frantic hope, snatching books from the shelves and leafing through them, his gaze darting for any clue that might serve as a shortcut to break the genetic lock. Lin Feng pulls out another thick volume, its cover a garish, almost childish design, and holds it up for a brief glance. The book on the table is clearly a popular science volume, its cover filled with whimsical, almost nonsensical theories rendered in bright cartoonish illustrations. He shakes his head, a faint, bitter smile touching his lips as he dismisses the book's frivolous content. Unreliable works by cranks, Lin Feng mutters, his voice low as he wonders why such a book would be in the prestigious Central C University Library. He flips through a few more pages, his expression unchanging, finding no useful clues among the dense text. With a frustrated sigh, he closes the book, preparing to return it to the shelf, his shoulders slumping slightly under the weight of disappointment. Lin Feng extends his right hand toward the row of books, his fingertips grazing a cold, smooth object hidden behind the volumes. From a low angle, Lin Feng's hand reaches out, the fingertips making contact with the cold, smooth surface concealed behind the books. Lin Feng's hand clamps the small metallic sphere, pulling it from the shadowed gap behind the shelf. The camera lingers on Lin Feng's grasp as he extracts the metallic sphere from the dark recess. The sphere is about the size of a small form's fist, hollow inside and surprisingly light, its surface cool to the touch. The hollow, lightweight sphere feels icy against the skin, its size comparable to a young one's fist. Lin Feng turns the sphere over in his palm, a puzzled expression crossing his face. From a slightly lower angle, Lin Feng examines the sphere, turning it slowly while his brow furrows in puzzlement. He asks aloud, "Who placed a metal ball on the bookshelf?" His voice echoing in the sudden silence. His voice reverberates as he wonders aloud who could have left the metal ball on the shelf. Lin Feng's gaze locks onto the unfamiliar metal sphere nestled among the books. He stares intently at the small, strange sphere perched on the shelf, his eyes narrowing. A thick layer of dust coats the sphere's surface, hinting at years of undisturbed slumber. The dust veil suggests the sphere has lain hidden for a long time. Its exterior gleams with an unnatural smoothness, broken only by a faint, circular fissure encircling its middle. The smooth metallic shell reflects the library lights, the thin circular crack the only sign of imperfection. Lin Feng hesitantly wraps his fingers around the smooth metal sphere, his thumbs pressing into the faint seam. Lin Feng's fingertips tighten around the sphere, the metal reflecting the library's dim glow as his thumbs press deeper into the seam. A sharp, metallic snap reverberates through the quiet library, echoing off the marble shelves. The metallic snap rings again, a brief clang that shatters the silence of the reading hall. A blinding flash of white light erupts from the sphere, briefly outlining Lin Feng's startled face in stark silhouette. The sudden white flare from the sphere silhouettes Lin Feng, his expression frozen in shock as the light washes over him. The metal ball shimmers, then melts with impossible speed, turning into a swirling pool of silvery white liquid. The sphere's surface ripples and collapses, the silvery liquid spilling outward in a rapid swirl. The molten metal surges, instantly engulfing Lin Feng's outstretched palm as he watches in disbelief. The liquid metal rushes over Lin Feng's hand, coating his palm in a bright, flowing sheen. His eyes widen in pure shock, a gasp caught in his throat as he violently flings his hand outward, the metallic sheen clinging to his skin. Lin Feng's face contorts with shock as he hurls his hand away, the metallic coating stubbornly adhering to his skin. Lin Feng's face twists in agony as searing pain erupts from his palm, his eyes clenched and mouth open in a cry. The agony on Lin Feng's face deepens, his mouth forming a silent scream as the pain radiates from his palm. The silvery liquid seeps into a small wound on Lin Feng's skin, a ripple of metallic energy pulsing beneath the surface. The metallic liquid crawls into Lin Feng's wound, a shimmering ripple spreading beneath his skin as the energy sinks deeper. Lin Feng winces as a searing fire spreads through his muscles, his shoulders tightening while cold sweat beads on his forehead and drips down his temples. A wave of burning agony tightens Lin Feng's muscles. His jaw clenches and sweat streams down his temples as he struggles against the pain. He slumps heavily against the bookshelf, his whole frame trembling with the aftershock of the fusion. Lin Feng collapses against the shelf, his shoulders shaking as the pain reverberates through his body. Lin Feng collapses onto the floor, his eyes widening in shock as the pain overwhelms him. Lin Feng's body hits the floor hard, his breath shallow as he struggles to stay conscious. She reaches out, and Lin Feng's arms lift instinctively as he tries to steady his swaying form. Lin Feng's body trembles, his hands reaching forward as he attempts to keep his balance. Her soft, worried murmur reaches Lin Feng, and his eyes flicker with a faint hope. Lin Feng's eyes flutter open at the gentle question, his breath shallow but steadier. Lin Feng's vision blurs, his mind a void of searing pain and overwhelming weakness. The world around Lin Feng fades as his senses dim, his body trembling with lingering pain. Time seems to stretch and warp around him, the library's shelves bending like a mirage. The warped surroundings pulse, but Lin Feng remains rooted, his breath shallow and steady. Slowly, agonizingly, his consciousness begins to return, his body still aching and sore. Lin Feng's eyes clear, his breathing steadies as he regains awareness of his surroundings. Lin Feng pushes himself upright, his face twisted in strain as he manages a weak, "I'm fine." He steadies himself, the effort evident in his clenched jaw as he repeats the fragile reassurance. A soft thank you lingers in the quiet of the library. The gratitude echoes, reverberating off the polished floors. Feeling a fraction better, Lin Feng offers the round-faced girl a quick, grateful nod before turning abruptly. He completes the turn, his shoulders set, as the brief nod lingers in his memory. He strides out of the library with determined urgency, his mind racing with the unsettling mystery of the metal sphere now inside him. His steps echo down the marble corridor as he pushes forward, the weight of the unseen sphere pressing on his thoughts. Lin Feng bursts through the door of his rented apartment, slamming it shut behind him. He leans against the closed door, breathing heavily, the metal sphere faintly humming in his palm. He extends his palm, his gaze fixed on the center where a tiny, almost invisible wound now marks his skin. He studies the wound, the faint line shimmering faintly as the metal within his body reacts. Though the intense pain has subsided, a strange, subtle presence thrums beneath his skin. The low hum persists, a quiet reminder of the alien metal now part of him. Almost instinctively, Lin Feng whispers, "Come out." His breath forms a barely audible sound as his words linger in the quiet room. A miraculous shimmer gathers on Lin Feng's palm, coalescing into a pristine metal sphere that glints with an otherworldly light. The metal sphere materializes on Lin Feng's palm, its surface shimmering as if caught in a fleeting sunrise. The familiar metal sphere, now pristine and dust-free, materializes from his skin, resting perfectly in his hand. A profound, almost blood-deep connection pulses between Lin Feng and the metal ball, a faint energy linking his fingertips to the sphere. With a focused thought, the sphere begins to ripple and shift, its metallic surface flowing like liquid under an unseen current. It morphs into a sleek, futuristic phone, then seamlessly transforms again, solidifying into a minimalist watch that clamps onto Lin Feng's wrist. This metal sphere, he realizes, is a shapeshifter, bending to his will, and a faint smile crosses his face as understanding dawns. Lin Feng takes a deep, steadying breath, his eyes fixed on the wristwatch as he mutters, "Activate," his voice low and firm. A synthesized female voice echoes in the quiet room. Genetic fusion device activated. Lin Feng activates the wristwatch. A soft buzz emanates and a brilliant white beam shoots forward from his wrist. A holographic display rapidly coalesces into a shimmering form in the air before him. The hologram projects stark glowing data points: physique 0.92, strength 0.81, agility. The display adds skill rating 0.78 for basic fist technique. Notes: genetic fusion, none. Genetic capacity, none. As Lin Feng studies the data, an intuitive understanding floods his mind. He knows what each value means. He understands that physique, strength, and agility represent his current physical state, with a normal adult's value being 1.0. His own numbers are alarmingly low, a stark visual confirmation of his failing organs and chronic weakness. Lin Feng understands that the word skill in the display refers to martial arts techniques. He recalls his basic fist technique as a relic from his youth, a desperate hope to break the genetic lock that might cure his illness. He realizes that the device's core functions are genetic fusion and genetic capacity, allowing other organisms' genes to merge into his body. He notes that genetic capacity indicates how many foreign genes his body can currently accommodate. The common knowledge settles in his mind as if he had always known it. Lin Feng takes another deep breath, his emotions a turbulent storm beneath a calm exterior. The sudden, impossible technology overwhelms him, yet he maintains a focused composure. He feels the core function of the genetic fusion device, to integrate other organisms' genes and grant their abilities, resembles fantastical science fiction. Lin Feng regarded the device, feeling a faint surge of hope as its reality became undeniable. He sensed the device's undeniable presence, a glimmer of hope flickering in the quiet apartment. He wondered whether strengthening his own genes could finally break the genetic lock that bound his illness. The question lingered: if his own DNA could be reinforced, might the lock on his disease be shattered? He did not let wild joy overwhelm him, keeping his thoughts measured. His composure stayed steady, refusing to be carried away by exuberance. Lin Feng remained meticulously calm, his gaze sweeping over the holographic display as he began to systematically study the device's various functions. Hours later, after intense scrutiny, Lin Feng reached several clear conclusions. After a long period of analysis, he arrived at distinct findings. Firstly, The genetic fusion device cannot fuse genes from the same species. The first conclusion was clear. The device cannot merge genes belonging to the same species. As a human, he cannot fuse with other human genes. They are fundamentally identical. He realized that, being human, he could not combine his DNA with that of another human, as they are essentially the same. A holographic display flickers, showing intricate, glowing genetic helixes. The display shimmered, revealing detailed, glowing genetic spirals. A red, jagged warning symbol flashes over a plant-like DNA strand, indicating an incompatibility. The display shifts, illustrating two abstract genetic sequences. One, larger and more complex, represents a host. The other, smaller, attempts to merge. A violent, distorted animation plays out on the screen. The smaller sequence overwhelms the larger, causing the host form to twist into a monstrous, shadowy silhouette before collapsing into a fragmented mess. Text scrolls rapidly, explaining the critical balance required for genetic fusion, emphasizing that the device itself determines gene strength. Lin Feng sits hunched, his gaze fixed on the genetic fusion device, a subtle furrow in his brow. He taps a finger against his chin, his expression a mix of deep thought and skepticism as the device hums softly, its lights pulsing. Lin Feng leans back in the kitchen, his eyes closing as a heavy sigh escapes his lips, a moment of weary contemplation. Lin Feng leans back, eyes closed, and a heavy sigh rolls out of him, the kitchen's quiet echoing his momentary release. Shadows deepen under Lin Feng's eyes, his face drawn tight with concern as the kitchen's hum surrounds him. Lin Feng's eyes snap open, a fierce resolve hardening his jaw as he steadies himself in the kitchen. Lin Feng clenches a fist tightly, then slowly relaxes it, his gaze locking onto the device with desperate intensity. Lin Feng's eyes dart around the room, then widen slightly as they land on something off-screen, a spark of an idea igniting in his expression. Lin Feng leans forward, a new energy pulsing through his posture as he prepares to act. Lin Feng stands abruptly, striding toward the sleek, futuristic refrigerator with purpose. The refrigerator's door slides open with a soft hiss, revealing a cool, blue-lit interior. Lin Feng extends his hand into the chilled interior of the refrigerator and extracts a vacuum-sealed slab of frozen meat. From a slightly elevated side angle, Lin Feng's fingers grasp the sealed package as he pulls it toward him. The vacuum-sealed package displays a stylized illustration of a powerful wild bovine, its muscular form rendered in bold lines. A close view of the illustration reveals the bovine's sinewy muscles and fierce eyes, rendered in stark contrast against the white background. A fleeting vision of a massive, muscular wild bovine charges across a dusty, barren plain, his hooves kicking up clouds of sand before the image dissolves. The same vision reappears as a dark silhouette of the wild bovine, outlined against a dimly lit horizon, then vanishes like a mirage. Lin Feng studies the slab, his eyes narrowing in a thoughtful, almost hungry gaze. From a side perspective, Lin Feng's profile shows his focused eyes fixed on the meat, his lips pressed in a slight, hungry line. Lin Feng rotates the frozen slab, turning it over to examine both sides of the package. A close view captures Lin Feng's hands as he flips the meat, the packaging catching the blue light with each turn. Lin Feng's stare intensifies as he envisions the raw, untamed power locked within the meat. From a side angle, Lin Feng's profile reveals his fierce concentration, his jaw set as he imagines the latent strength. A faint ethereal glow radiates from the meat, catching in Lin Feng's focused eyes, hinting at the latent strength within. A tighter close-up emphasizes the subtle glow surrounding the meat, its light dancing across Lin Feng's pupils. Lin Feng swivels his body toward the humming genetic fusion device, his expression set in firm determination. From a frontal perspective, Lin Feng faces the genetic fusion device, his jaw clenched and his gaze unwavering. Lin Feng raises a slab of meat toward the kitchen's scanning port, his grip steady as the device prepares to analyze the sample. Lin Feng lifts the meat and aligns it with the scanning port, his posture unwavering as the device reads the sample. Leaning forward, Lin Feng speaks in a low, steady murmur, his face set with determination. The device's interface flashes the command, "Extract wild bovine genes." A soft, synthesized female voice announces, "Successfully extracted wild bovine genes." The system informs that the extracted bovine DNA can be fused with human genes. The device prompts, "Do you want to fuse with it immediately?" Lin Feng's eyes narrow as a brief doubt flickers across his face, his posture indicating hesitation. Lin Feng's jaw tightens and his teeth grind together, a sign of resolve hardening within him. Lin Feng whispered the command, his voice crisp as he prepared the fusion device. He repeated the word, his resolve evident. Lin Feng announced the initiation, his voice steady. He voiced the command, the words hanging in the air. The fusion sequence was set to run for a full minute. A minute ticked by as the device prepared. A deep, resonant boom echoed from the device. The reverberation shook the room. Lin Feng's entire body jolted violently, his head snapping back. He convulsed, the shock rippling through him. He stumbled, clutching his chest, his eyes wide with shock and pain. He faltered, the pain evident in his expression. A crushing pressure slammed into him, pinning him to the ground. He remained pressed to the floor, the weight overwhelming. He gasped, his face contorted as sweat dripped from his brow. His breath came in ragged bursts, the contortion of his face vivid. Lin Feng feels the frantic surge of blood pounding through his veins, a primal roar echoing in his mind. A pitch-black, impossibly strong wild bovine thunders across a vast, wild plain under a stormy sky. Its hooves kick up dust and rock, its eyes burning with untamed energy. The flashback ends, returning focus to the present scene. The minute stretches into an eternity. When the device finally falls silent, Lin Feng slowly opens his eyes, blinking. He looks down at his hands, then his body, a bewildered expression on his face. There appears to be no visible change. Lin Feng replies, "No, not on the surface," his voice steady despite the lingering hum of the device. Lin Feng repeats his denial, "No, not on the surface," his tone edged with a hint of amusement. He senses a profound shift deep within, a change that remains invisible to the eye. A quiet realization settles within him, the deep shift he feels but cannot yet see. He closes his eyes again, a strange sensation washing over him. He closes his eyes again, a strange sensation washing over him, deepening his focus. He feels a surge of raw power, a wild, untamed energy coursing through his bloodline. He feels a surge of raw power, a wild, untamed energy coursing through his bloodline, heightening his senses. He imagines himself as a wild bovine, running with unbridled abandon through an endless wilderness. He imagines himself as a wild bovine, running with unbridged abandon through an endless wilderness, feeling the wind on his imagined flank. Lin Feng lets out a short, self-deprecating chuckle, a wry smile playing on his lips. Lin Feng lets out a short, self-deprecating chuckle, a wry smile playing on his lips, as the device hums softly. "The genetic fusion wouldn't really turn me into a wild bovine, would it?" he asks, half joking, half concerned. "The genetic fusion wouldn't really turn me into a wild bovine, would it?" he repeats, his tone tinged with curiosity. He shakes his head, then turns back to the device, dismissing the thought. He shakes his head, then turns back to the device, reaffirming his focus on the experiment. Lin Feng flicks his wrist, reactivating the holographic display. Lin Feng's eyes scan the new data that appears on the holographic screen. The holographic panel flashes the updated stats: Physique 1.66, Strength 1.54, Agility 1.34, Skill Basic Fist Technique, Genetic Fusion Wild Bovine 10% level. The system notes that the genes are still developing rapidly. Maintain nutritional intake. Genetic capacity, 6%. Lin Feng's eyes widen, a gasp escaping him. His calm demeanor shatters, replaced by an expression of pure, unadulterated excitement. A wide, triumphant grin spreads across his face. Waves of power surge through him, no longer an illusion, but a tangible, exhilarating reality. His physique, strength, and agility have all dramatically increased. He clenches his fists, feeling the new power thrumming beneath his skin. The wild bovine genes are still integrating, promising even greater gains. Suddenly, Lin Feng's eyes snap open wide, his stomach rumbling with a ferocious, almost painful intensity. His grin falters, replaced by a look of utter shock and discomfort. He clutches his abdomen, a desperate hunger gnawing at him. He feels as if he could devour an entire horse. He stumbles to the refrigerator, yanking open the door. Lin Feng scrambles through the refrigerator, pulling out every prepackaged meal, fruit, and drink, stuffing them into his mouth with desperate speed as crumbs scatter around him. Continuing his frantic feast, Lin Feng devours the items with reckless speed, his cheeks puffed and his jaw working furiously as the kitchen echoes with the clatter of plates. He mutters that the food is still not enough, his voice tinged with frustration. His words echo in the quiet kitchen, a hollow declaration that the hunger remains unsated. His hunger remains a gaping void, an unfilled abyss that nothing seems to quell. The emptiness of his stomach mirrors the stark emptiness of the fridge, a silent testament to his unrelenting need. With a frustrated groan, Lin Feng reaches into a hidden compartment and pulls out 3 sleek, glowing bottles of high-grade white nutrient solution. He grips the 3 luminous bottles, their white glow reflecting off his determined face as he prepares to consume them. He uncaps one, then another, then the third, his hands trembling slightly as the caps pop off. He quickly injects the contents of all 3 bottles into his arm, the liquid disappearing beneath his skin with a faint shimmer. A wave of warmth spreads from the injection site, flowing through his body like a gentle tide, easing the gnawing hunger. His eyes close in blissful relief, a soft sigh escaping him as his body finally finds peace. He feels as if he's sinking into a luxurious hot spring, every cell in his body cheering in silent gratitude. The unbearable hunger recedes, replaced by a profound sense of comfort. Lin Feng stumbles to his bed, collapsing onto it. He curls up, unconsciously immersing himself in the soothing warmth, and drifts into a deep, peaceful sleep. In his sleep, Lin Feng transforms. He is a magnificent wild bovine, running free across an endless, sun-drenched wilderness. He is part of a vast, thundering herd, and wherever they go, all other dire beasts scatter, fleeing before their unstoppable might. A vast, sprawling herd of bovine-like creatures, numbering in the tens of thousands, stretches across a desolate plain, kicking up immense clouds of dust that stain the horizon. The endless herd of wild bovines stretches across the plain, their sheer, overwhelming numbers radiating raw, untamed power. The herd continues to surge, each animal adding to the palpable sense of raw, untamed power that dominates the landscape. High above the thundering herd, indistinct human silhouettes hover in the sky, their forms dark against the harsh light. The hovering silhouettes linger above the thundering herd, their presence a silent contrast to the raw power below. One of the hovering figures makes a swift, almost casual gesture with an arm, cutting through the air. The bovine watches the casual arm movement of the hovering figure, its eyes following the swift motion. A colossal, glowing blade of energy erupts from the sky, tearing across the heavens with a blinding flash. The massive energy blade slices the sky, its radiant edge flashing across the plain as the herd watches in disbelief. The blade slams down onto the earth, splitting distant mountain peaks with a deafening crack. The impact reverberates, sending a shockwave that tears through the landscape and the herd alike. The ground shudders violently, and a devastating wave of energy sweeps across the landscape, engulfing the entire herd in brilliant, annihilating light. The annihilating light consumes the herd, leaving only the echo of their power in the lingering glow. The flashback fades, and the scene returns to the present within the university library. The memory dissolves completely, leaving only the quiet rustle of pages in the library. A sudden swoosh echoes through Lin Feng's apartment, hinting at a rapid movement nearby. The swoosh reverberates again, as if something unseen brushes past the room. Lin Feng jolts awake, his eyes snapping open in alarm. His startled gaze scans the dim room as the alarm spreads across his face. He bolts upright, chest heaving, cold sweat beading his forehead. His breathing quickens, the room echoing his sudden surge of adrenaline. He clutches his head, confusion and unease twisting his features. His fingers dig into his hair as his mind reels. He whispers, "A dream?" his voice trembling. The question hangs in the air, his breath shallow. He mutters, "Or was it a memory left behind by the wild bovine genes?" Barely audible. His voice fades, the words lingering like a distant echo. His gaze drifts, haunted by vivid images. He remains still, the memory lingering in his eyes. He wonders if the dream was a real memory of the wild bovine, its final moments echoing within him. His thoughts swirl, the possibility of a genetic memory weighing on him. A faint shimmer of energy ripples around him, hinting at the dormant fusion. Lin Feng narrowed his eyes, his thoughts stitching the scattered clues together. Lin Feng's gaze sharpened as his eyes narrowed, the mental connections forming in his mind. A low-angle close-up captures Lin Feng's face, awe and determination blazing in his eyes as he whispers, "Walking in the air, and with such a massive blade aura." The camera stays low, still focusing on Lin Feng's determined expression as he repeats, "Walking in the air, and with such a massive blade aura." Lin Feng's eyes widened a fraction, a spark of awe and wonder igniting within them as he wondered, was he an inhuman expert who broke the genetic lock? He repeats the question, his eyes still widened, the spark of wonder flickering brighter. Lin Feng clenches his fist, excitement and determination hardening his features. He maintains the clenched fist, his resolve evident in his hardened expression. A dynamic montage flashes. An indistinct, powerful figure soars through a stormy sky, leaving a trail of crackling energy. The montage repeats, emphasizing the soaring figure and its crackling trail. A massive, building-sized beast roars, then erupts into light and dust from an unseen force. The beast's explosion of light and dust repeats, emphasizing its sudden disappearance. A gleaming futuristic city skyline, bathed in a protective golden glow, stands as a testament to peace. The golden glow city skyline is shown again, reinforcing the image of peace. A vast, desolate outland landscape stretches, scarred by colossal craters and towering ancient structures resembling petrified beasts, hinting at past battles. The desolate outland scene repeats, emphasizing the scarred terrain and towering relics. Lin Feng's expression turns grim as he reflects on the looming threat. Lin Feng's face hardens, his eyes narrowing with resolve. In his mind, a bustling futuristic city street swarms with faceless crowds, oblivious to his thoughts. His imagination shifts to a street-level view of the crowded avenue, each passerby a blank silhouette. A holographic screen flashes a simulated battle, a city block vaporized by a massive energy blast. The holographic display shows the destructive blast from a tilted angle, the cold cyan hue bathing the room. He realizes why such experts were barred from fighting in the city. Their power could raise everything. His mind conjures a shadowy silhouette of raw power, underscoring the danger of unrestricted experts. Lin Feng lifts his arm, the sleek watch on his wrist glowing faintly. He raises his arm, the device's faint light catching the room's shadows. He flexes his fingers, confidence replacing weariness. He flexes his fingers, the gesture radiating renewed energy. A faint aura of vitality surrounds him, contrasting his former sickly state. The vitality aura glows brighter, casting a warm light across the room. He murmurs, "I wonder if the genetic fusion was successful?" While tapping the watch, he whispers the question, his finger pressing the glowing watch as curiosity flickers in his eyes. Lin Feng activates his wrist device, and a holographic interface of glowing data streams outward from it. The wrist device on Lin Feng's arm projects a luminous holographic interface filled with data. His eyes scan the floating text intently. The holographic display shows the upgraded stats: Physique 4.36, Strength 4.12, Agility 3.34, and the basic fist technique details. Wild bovine genes, 35% fusion level, and genetic capacity, 6%, pulse with energy on the holographic readout, emphasizing rapid changes. Lin Feng's eyes widen further, a gasp escaping his lips. He realizes that his physical fitness had practically exploded overnight. He clenches his hands, feeling an almost limitless strength surge through him, a constant flow of energy. The sudden surge leaves him with a slight sense of maladjustment, a need to adapt to his rapidly improving body. He ponders whether the fusion of the wild bovine genes can cure his strange illness, a flicker of worry crossing his face. He acknowledges that without professional equipment, he couldn't check his condition. He studies the genetic fusion device on his wrist for a moment longer, its advanced technology clearly beyond anything he knew. With a thought, the device on his wrist glows brightly, then instantly dissolves and merges into his skin, disappearing without a trace. A deep rumble reverberates through the room. Lin Feng feels a deep, resonant growl from his stomach, his brows furrowing as the hunger intensifies. A surge of ravenous hunger floods Lin Feng, his eyes widening with urgent need. Seeing the empty nutrient bottle, Lin Feng realizes he must find real food to sustain his rapidly developing wild bovine genes. He glances at the wall clock, noting that noon has arrived and the cafeteria will be open. Lin Feng pushes himself up from the bed, his feet touching the floor as he prepares to leave. The university cafeteria stretches out as a vast, bustling hall, filled with the chatter and movement of many students enjoying their meals. Drawn by the rich, savory aromas, Lin Feng's stomach growls louder, his eyes closing as the scent reaches him. Lin Feng scans the dazzling array of dishes laid out on the cafeteria counters, his gaze moving from one plate to another. Understanding his body's new demands, Lin Feng points to several large portions of dire beast meat and orders them. The table before him becomes piled high with enough food to feed 3 or 4 people. Driven by intense hunger, Lin Feng devours the food with gusto, chewing rapidly. A familiar voice calls his name, echoing through the cafeteria's din. Lin Feng looks up, his mouth still full, to see Chu Chun standing nearby. Chu Chun stands tall, her white martial arts suit gleaming, the black fringe accentuating her spirited stance. Her commanding aura draws the attention of the surrounding students, who turn their heads toward her. The university cafeteria buzzes with the chatter of countless students, the air alive with movement. Lin Feng and Chu Chun sit across from each other at a central table, their relaxed postures showing a comfortable familiarity. Chu Chen's face brightens with a radiant, almost luminous smile. Around the central table, heads turn in quiet curiosity. Students at nearby tables pause, their gazes drawn to Chu Chun. Whispers ripple behind cupped hands, some admiring Lin Feng while others hint at envy. Leaning slightly forward, Lin Feng asks Chu Chun why he cannot come to the cafeteria. Chu Chun gives a small, gentle shrug, her smile softening further. A brief, hushed nothing hangs in the air. Lin Feng remarks that he had the impression Chu Chun rarely eats in the cafeteria. Du Chong approaches the table, carrying a tray with a steaming dish of marbled meat. Leaning in with a solicitous expression, Du Chong offers the food to Chu Chun. Du Chong tells Chu Chun she must be tired from practicing martial arts. He declares the marbled meat was ordered especially for her. He explains the dish can replenish her energy from the morning, while other students exchange knowing glances and subtle eye rolls. Chu Chen's brow furrows almost imperceptibly, a subtle sign of inner tension. She holds up her hand, palm outward, a clear gesture of refusal. Chu Chen's voice cuts through the cafeteria hum as she addresses Du Chong, her tone firm despite the bustling background. She refuses his offer, her eyes steady and a subtle tension in her jaw. Du Chong waves his hand dismissively, pushing the tray a fraction closer while his grin persists, trying to coax a bite from the stubborn Chu Chan. With a casual tone, Du Chong urges her to eat, his voice softening as he tries to make the offer sound harmless. Chu Chen's eyes narrow, her voice rising slightly in frustration. Chu Chen's jaw clenches as she repeats her refusal, taking a sharp breath and glancing around the bustling cafeteria before steadied composure returns. Lin Feng shifts his gaze between Chu Chen's angry stare and Du Chong's persistent smile, weighing the tension in the air. Lin Feng remains silent, calmly continuing to eat his meal without haste, his focus on the food. As he chews, a faint glow pulses from his core, hinting at the rapid digestion coursing through him. Ignoring Chu Chen's cold stare, Du Chong turns his gaze toward Lin Feng, a flicker of displeasure flashing in his eyes. Du Chong steps closer to Lin Feng's side and taps his shoulder with a forceful, challenging motion, asserting his dominance. Du Chong declares, "Lin Feng, you've finished eating," his tone edged with impatience. With a curt "make way," Du Chong pushes forward, demanding space. Lin Feng subconsciously lifts his shoulder, causing his whole body to lean back slightly in his chair, a subtle defensive shift. Caught off guard, Du Chong feels a sudden, powerful force pressing against him, his posture stiffening. His eyes widen as he staggers backward, taking several steps before catching his balance, nearly falling. Anger flashes across his face, his features hardening as his expression shifts. Du Chong clenches his fists, his knuckles whitening as he readies himself to strike again, while Lin Feng and Chu Chan watch the rising tension. Chu Chen's eyes blaze with fury as she springs to her feet, her voice cutting sharply through the cafeteria air. Lin Feng asks Du Chong what he is trying to do, his voice steady despite the tension. Du Chong's expression turns cold, a mix of confusion and simmering rage as he stares at Lin Feng. Du Chong realizes he has been subtly outmaneuvered by someone he considered weak. Du Chong forces a tight smile, his eyes still fixed on Lin Feng with chilling intensity. Lin Feng says, "Chu Chun, don't be angry," trying to calm the heated atmosphere. Du Chong casts one last cold glance at Lin Feng, a silent promise of future confrontation in his gaze, before turning and walking away. Chu Chun turns to Lin Feng, her face etched with worry. Chu Chun asks, "Lin Feng, are you all right?" Her voice trembling with concern. Someone remarks that Du Chong really went overboard. A voice whispers, "He knows that you have a weak constitution." Lin Feng raises a hand, stopping Chu Chun mid-sentence. Lin Feng waves it dismissively, a calm expression on his face. "I'm fine," Lin Feng replies, his voice steady. Chu Chen's expression brightens slightly, a hint of relief appearing. Du Chong asks Lin Feng if he has class this afternoon, prompting a brief discussion among the group. Lin Feng pauses, considers the question, then nods in agreement. Lin Feng replies that there is only one elective class. Chu Chun leans forward, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. Chu Chun says it doesn't matter when you attend the elective class. Du Chong informs the group that the Martial Arts Club has invited a grade 7 professional martial artist to teach that afternoon. Du Chong declares it a rare opportunity. Du Chong urges everyone to come to the Martial Arts Club. At the Martial Arts Club hall, Lin Feng pauses, a small smile touching his lips. Lin Feng nods in acknowledgement. Lin Feng declares he'll go to the Martial Arts Club this afternoon. Chu Chun claps her hands together, a burst of pure joy lighting her face. Chu Chun exclaims, "Great, let's go together," then practically bounces out of her seat, leading Lin Feng out of the bustling cafeteria. Lin Feng and Chu Chun arrive at the school's martial arts club, a large echoing hall filled with the sounds of movement and excited chatter. Over 100 students mill about, some stretching, others practicing light forms. A familiar figure stands on a raised sparring ring in the center. Spotting Lin Feng across the hall, Chu Chun springs downward with practiced agility, her white martial arts suit fluttering as she lands beside him. Lin Qian darts toward her brother, her bright smile lighting her face as she closes the distance. Lin Qian calls out, her voice echoing in the hall as she asks why her brother has come. She wonders aloud if his presence is tied to Chu Chen, her tone tinged with curiosity. A soft pale flush spreads across Chu Chen's cheeks, betraying a shy excitement. Lin Feng returns a gentle smile, shaking his head in amused denial. Chu Chen announces the arrival of a grade 7 professional martial artist, her voice resonant. Lin Feng replies with a confident grin, stating his curiosity compelled him to investigate. Lin Chen points toward the meditating figure, indicating the guest instructor. A subtle aura of power radiates from Lei Shang, the air around him shimmering faintly. Lin Chen calls her brother by name, beginning to reveal the identity of the seated figure. Lei Shang is introduced as a grade 7 professional martial artist, his posture calm and authoritative. Chu Chen explains that Lei Shang was invited by the club to lead the session, her tone proud. The camera pulls back to a wide shot of the martial arts club, the platform and meditating figure centered in the frame. The view pans across a digital display board, its glowing panels enumerating the martial arts classifications. A screen flashes the classification hierarchy, the numbers pulsing with electric blue light. The marble hall of the martial arts club glows under harsh spotlights, its polished floor reflecting the bright beams while rows of wooden benches stretch across the expansive space. A low hum of anticipation vibrates through the air as the crowd swells toward 200 trainees, their murmurs echoing off the stone walls. Chu Chen, the club president, steps onto the raised platform, her voice ringing out as she prepares to address the assembly. Today, our martial arts club has the honor of inviting Mr. The microphone crackles, awaiting the name of the distinguished guest. Lei Shang, a grade 7 professional martial artist, steps forward to instruct the gathered trainees. Everyone, let's welcome him. Chu Chen sweeps her hand outward, inviting applause from the crowd. The audience erupts in thunderous claps, the sound ricocheting off the vaulted ceiling and stirring the dust in the air. Seated with his eyes closed, Lei Shang lifts his head, his gaze sweeping the sea of trainees before him. He rises slowly, the motion deliberate, as a faint rim of light outlines his silhouette against the darkened hall. Lei Shang's voice cuts through the lingering applause, confident and resonant, commanding the attention of every trainee. All of you practice martial arts, and you know the difference between martial arts and martial techniques. Martial arts trains the body. The speaker's words echo through the hall, urging the trainees to focus on their fundamentals, to break the genetic lock, achieving the inhuman state. The declaration hangs in the air, stirring curiosity among the listeners. Martial techniques are for combat. The statement reinforces the practical purpose of the upcoming lesson. Today I'll discuss martial techniques, using the wild bovine's might as an example. His hands trace the air, illustrating the power of the beast. He continues, eyes flashing with intensity. Wild bovine's might is a form and intent technique, modeled after dire beasts. The instructor explains that the wild bovine technique consists of only 3 moves, each embodying the beast's core essence. Lei Shang emphasizes that true mastery requires intent, and amber sparks flare briefly around his clenched fists to illustrate the concept. Lin Feng leans forward, his posture attentive and eyes narrowed as Lei Shang's words settle over him. A subtle tremor ripples through Lin Feng's shoulders, hinting at restless energy stirring within his body. Lei Shang declares, "All right, everyone, practice on your own," then slides back to the side, folding his arms and adopting a detached, almost cold demeanor as the trainees disperse. The trainees scatter, each striking a pose of the wild bovine's might, and the hall fills with the sound of swift footwork and occasional grunts of exertion. Du Chong watches the crowd, his gaze landing on Lin Feng, who practices with eyes closed, his movements fluid yet tentative. Du Chong's eyes sharpen, and he raises his voice, proclaiming, "I just had some insights from practicing wild bovine's might." Du Chong challenges the room. "Why don't I spar with some members, so that everyone can better comprehend it?" His words echo, drawing the room's attention. A ripple of murmur spreads, but Chu Chen's expression tightens. She senses something off as Du Chong's stare repeatedly sweeps over Lin Feng. Before she can intervene, Du Chang shouts. Lin Feng, I saw that your moves were not bad. Du Chang challenges. Why don't you come up and spar with me using wild bovine's might? The hall falls into an uneasy silence. The crowd watches Lin Feng, a frail figure known for poor health, as he hesitates. Chu Chen's worry deepens, aware of the tension between Du Chang's pursuit of her and his ulterior motives. Chu Chen steps forward, voice firm. Du Chang, if you want someone to spar with, I'll do it. Her stance is resolute, a protective glare fixed on Du Chang. Lin Qian, Lin Feng's sister, rises instantly, her posture rigid with determination. Lin Qian, aware of her brother's illness, steels herself, refusing to let Du Chang's scheme succeed. Chu Chen furrows her brow, a line of displeasure deepening across her face. Du Chang fixes Lin Feng with an intense, challenging stare. Du Chang's voice booms, taunting Lin Feng about his lack of courage. A sharp command echoes through the club, urging someone to leave. Du Chang's jaw sets, his posture rigid and confrontational as his shout reverberates. Du Chang's unwavering gaze aims to humiliate Lin Feng, seeking to drive him out of the club. Lin Feng's eyes snap open with sudden intensity, a primal restlessness stirring within him. A vague feeling builds inside him as he immerses in the strange sensation of wild bovine's might. The pressure demands release. Lin Feng's eyes blaze anew as he declares his resolve. Lin Qian rushes forward, pleading with her brother, while Lin Feng offers a gentle smile and a reassuring pat on her shoulder. Lin Feng reassures, then turns and walks deliberately toward the center ring. A hush falls over the club as every eye fixes on Lin Feng. The frailty that once clung to him disappears, replaced by a quiet strength. A flicker of unease crosses Du Chang's face, hinting that something is amiss. Du Chang's uneasy expression quickly gave way to a confident smirk. He puffed out his chest, his powerful physique evident beneath his training clothes, dismissing the feeling. He was a grade 3 martial artist, his body honed almost to professional standards. Du Chang regarded Lin Feng as weak, deeming the upcoming clash a simple matter. Du Chang took a deep, focused breath, his stance widening as he prepared his move. He lunged forward, his foot slamming down with surprising force, a powerful, practiced motion. A voice echoed through the hall. Very well. Lin Feng watched carefully. Du Chang shouted, Wild bovine's tread, and executed the move with fluid, effortless grace. Lin Feng's eyes narrowed slightly, observing Du Chang's technique. He saw the precise form, the powerful execution, but in his mind's eye it was merely an imitation, a hollow echo of true power. Lin Feng closed his eyes, his body swaying almost imperceptibly. The restlessness within him intensified, a growing pressure building in his chest, like a dormant volcano rumbling to life. Then, with a sudden, explosive boom, Lin Feng's eyes snapped open, glowing with primal energy. They were no longer human, but glowed with a raw, brutal intensity, like the eyes of a cornered beast. His arm shot out a natural, unthinking motion, delivering a punch. Lin Feng's fist surged forward, embodying the wild bovine's tread as his arm shot out in a natural, unthinking motion. At that instant, Lin Feng seemed to transform, his aura flaring as he radiated a newfound power. A shimmering, phantom image of a colossal, enraged wild bovine materialized around Lin Feng, its hoofs thundering. Du Chang's eyes widened in terror as his mind registered the impossible sight of a ferocious wild bovine charging directly at him. The impact resonated with a deafening bang, captured in a Dutch-tilted slow-motion frame as energy crackles around the strike. Du Chang's face contorted into an impossible mask of shock and agony, his features warping under the force. A sickening crunch echoed as Lin Feng's arm fractured instantly under the strain. Du Chang's entire body was lifted off his feet, sent flying backward like a rag doll before slamming onto the ring's canvas. He lay motionless, unconscious on the canvas. A single punch reverberated through the hall, the source unmistakably Lin Feng's. Du Chang, defeated, lay amid the stunned crowd. The martial arts club was plunged into an absolute, Stunned silence. No one moved, no one spoke. Their gazes darted between the unconscious Du Chong and the figure of Lin Feng, standing calmly in the ring. It was as if they couldn't reconcile the powerful fighter before them with the sickly Lin Feng they knew. Lin Qian rushed onto the ring, her voice trembling with concern. Chu Chun hurried forward, her voice trembling as she asked Lin Feng if he was all right and how he was feeling. Chu Chen's gaze lingered on Lin Feng, the affection in her eyes unmistakable despite Lin Qian's earlier concern. A wave of disheartened sighs and jealous glances rippled through the club members. The members looked at the unconscious Vice President Du Chong, then turned their attention back to Lin Feng. A question lingered about whether Lin Feng was the one in trouble. It became clear that Du Chong was the one in trouble. Someone shouted urgently, "Quick! Quick! Send Senior Du Chong to the hospital!" Breaking the spell. Several members rushed to Du Chong's side, carefully lifting him. The martial arts club event ended abruptly, halted by the unexpected injury. Lei Sheng's head snapped up, his eyes sharp as a sudden realization dawned. Lei Sheng's focused gaze locked onto Lin Feng. Lei Sheng asked Lin Feng, "You comprehended the wild bovine's true intent?" Lin Feng blinked, a slight frown appearing on his face. A voice echoed the question, "Wild bovine's true intent?" The response was an uncertain, "I'm not sure either." Lin Feng confessed that he felt as if he had transformed into a wild bovine, his expression uneasy. Lei Sheng nods slowly, a rare smile touching his lips as he acknowledges the moment. Lei Sheng declares, "That's right, that's the wild bovine's true intent," his voice steady. He adds, "I didn't expect you to be able to comprehend it," his tone tinged with surprise. Lei Sheng shakes his head in admiration, then pulls out a sleek, metallic name card, holding it between thumb and forefinger. He offers the card, saying, "This is my name card." He compliments Lin Feng, "You are very talented in martial arts." He concludes, "If you are interested, you can look for me at the Wind Source Club." Lin Feng takes the name card, tucking it safely into his jacket pocket. Lei Sheng gives one last assessing look, then turns and walks out of the club. Lin Qian, still looking worried, supports Lin Feng as they head toward the apartment, her hand on his elbow. Later, alone in the quiet apartment, Lin Feng pulls out his personal device. He quickly navigates to his attributes panel, his eyes scanning the screen. A new entry glows in the skill column of the display. The screen lists the mastered skill, Wild Bovine's Might, confirming the true intent. He closes his eyes, recalling the sensation. He can still feel the raw, violent energy, the sense of becoming a wild bovine. Lin Feng tried the Wild Bovine's Might again within the cramped confines of his apartment. It was indeed the wild bovine's true intent, but it felt wild and untamed. A disturbing sense of losing control flickered at the edges of his consciousness. Lin Feng wondered aloud, could this be the side effect of genetic fusion? Lin Feng stands, a thoughtful expression on his face, one hand resting on his chin. A faint, almost imperceptible, reddish glow seems to emanate from his chest, pulsing gently. He considers his rapid comprehension of the wild bovine's true intent, a feat others found incredibly difficult. He realizes the probable reason, his fusion with the wild bovine's genes. From a certain perspective, he is a true wild bovine now. He muses, a slight upward curve to his lips, that for a wild bovine, comprehending its own true intent would indeed be simple. Lin Feng clenches a fist, his expression hardening. He knows the true intent of a martial technique is paramount, capable of unleashing power several times greater than one's own in a terrifying, explosive burst. But a shadow crosses his face. He must control the side effects of his fused genes. A brief, almost animalistic snarl twists his features, his eyes flashing with a deep, unsettling red. He absolutely cannot succumb to the violent emotions of the wild bovine, or he risks becoming an uncontrollable monster. Genetic fusion offered immense benefits, yet its side effects demanded an iron will to subdue the foreign genetic wills. Lin Feng inhales deeply, his eyes narrowing as resolve hardens within him. A thought flickers through his mind. A solution has finally emerged. He flows into the wild bovine stance, muscles coiling with controlled power. His focus sharpens as he channels the violent emotions of the technique, seeking to tame the wild within. The following morning dawns bright and clear, a weekend sky stretching over the garden. Sunlight pours through the apartment window, dust motes glittering in the beam. A soft knock echoes from the door. Lin Qian steps inside, worry etched on her face as she scans for her brother. Her brow tightens with concern. She recalls Lin Feng's shocking victory over Du Chong, a memory tinged with his mysterious illness. Her worry for him hangs heavy in the air. She asks, voice trembling, "Brother, are you really okay?" A relaxed grin spreads across Lin Feng's face. He sweeps his arm outward in an expansive gesture. He replies confidently, "Of course I'm fine." He reflects, how could I have defeated Du Chong otherwise? Since obtaining the genetic fusion device and merging with the wild bovine's genes, Lin Feng felt an inexhaustible strength surge through his body each day, and the weight that had clouded his thoughts lifted, leaving his mood noticeably lighter. Lin Qian's eyes widened slightly, curiosity flickering across her face as she listened to his words. She asked, "I forgot to ask, how did you defeat Du Chong yesterday?" Her voice tinged with worry. Lin Feng paused, his gaze drifting thoughtfully toward the distant trees. He knew he would eventually have to tell his family about the device, but the secret of the genetic fusion must stay hidden. He turned back to Lin Qian, his expression a mix of contemplation and slight evasion. He said, "I have some success in practicing martial arts recently, and I have many doubts too." He added, "I need a thorough checkup when we get home." Lin Qian's eyes darted around, her anxiety returning. He replied, "Yes, that's right." She urged, "Hurry home and do a detailed checkup." She added, "Make sure nothing is up with your health," urging him as she already moved towards the door. Lin Feng followed Lin Qian out of the school building. A sleek, luxurious black car waited outside, its polished surface gleaming under the morning sun. It was the car their parents had sent to escort them home for the weekend. Lin Feng settled into the car, the soft leather seats enveloping him. Lin Feng steadies the steering wheel as the car begins its slow glide through the city, his eyes tracking the passing scenery. The cityscape melts into streaks of color, and a faint tremor of nervousness flickers across Lin Feng's gaze as he calms himself. He ponders the uncertainty of his strange illness, wondering if the fused genes can truly cure him. The car turns smoothly toward the villa district, finally halting before the imposing entrance. Lin Feng and his sister Lin Qian step out onto the marble steps, their silhouettes framed by the grand doorway. Inside the opulent foyer, Lin Feng raises his voice to call out. His voice echoes in the spacious foyer as he addresses his parents. "Dad, Mom." Lin Xiong, the founder of the Lin Corporation, steps forward, his presence commanding the foyer. Their mother, Luo Xiaoding, elegant and poised, appears beside her husband. Luo Xiaoding's reputation as a renowned fashion designer is evident in her immaculate attire. In this affluent family, Lin Feng lives comfortably despite his illness. Every weekend, Lin Xiong and Luo Xiaoding set aside their demanding work schedules to spend time with Lin Feng. Both parents carry a quiet, underlying sorrow, knowing their son's days are numbered. Lin Qian rushes forward, her voice urgent. "Dad, Mom, quickly get Doctor." The family awaits Dr. Lu's arrival for a checkup on Lin Feng. Lin Xiong and Luo Xiaoding exchange a look of immediate alarm, their faces etched with worry. They know their son's illness can take an unexpected turn at any moment. Their family even has a professional medical room and a dedicated doctor on standby for him. Lin Qian quickly recounts the events, her words tumbling out. Mr. and Mrs. Lin look at each other, their expressions a mixture of disbelief and deepening concern. Lin Xiong turns to Lin Feng, his voice tinged with worry. "Fenger, when did you become so good at martial arts? Could there be something wrong with your body?" I'll call Dr. Lu to the medical room to check on you. The family's anxiety is palpable, a heavy cloud settling over them. Lin Feng shakes his head, a reassuring smile on his face. Dad, Mom, I should be fine. I feel quite good. By the way, has Big Brother not returned? Lin Xiong waves a dismissive hand, a casual explanation. A voice from the family says, your brother is busy with work. Another family member adds, he's in charge of such a big company. The discussion notes that the eldest, Lin Yong, is being groomed as the company's successor, assisting Lin Xiong. It is mentioned that the second son, Lin Hai, serves as a lieutenant colonel, admired by a general and a source of pride for the parents. The family clarifies that Lin Feng is the third son, while Lin Qian is the fourth daughter. The eldest and second eldest are the family's pride, and even young Lin Qian, with her innate martial arts talent. It is said that Lin Qian is expected to become a professional martial artist and achieve great things with the family's support. The camera pans across a sleek, glass-walled mansion at dusk, the sky bruised purple. Soft amber light spills from the grand hallway, hinting at the family's wealth and the lingering worry that hangs in the air. Lin Feng sits quietly on a plush sofa, his shoulders hunched and his eyes distant, as the room's amber light wraps around him. The narrator's voice whispers that he has carried a strange illness since childhood, loved by his family yet helpless against the disease. A low-angle close-up is set on a gentleman in a white coat, hinting at a doctor's presence. The scene mentions Lin, then Mrs., suggesting a brief exchange between two adults. Lin, both clasping hands, is referenced alongside a gentleman, indicating a moment of mutual reassurance. The final line references and Mrs., completing the earlier mention of an adult figure. Lin Xiong and Luo Xiaoding exchange a weary glance, their faces tight with resolve as they voice their hope that their son can enjoy the few remaining years he has left. A sleek white medical van pulls up on a bustling city street, the camera cutting rapidly to capture its polished surface. Dr. Lu steps out of the vehicle, his stride brisk after receiving an urgent call. A close-up focuses on Dr. Lu, his face filling the frame. Dr. Lu's hands hover over a portable scanner as he checks its readout. Dr. Lu conducts a quick checkup on Lin Feng, his brow furrowing slightly as uncertainty flickers across his face. Dr. Lu raises his voice, commanding, send young Master Feng to the medical room and do a thorough checkup. The whole family escorts Lin Feng through polished corridors into a cavernous medical suite, the high-tech room humming with blue light. The walls are lined with gleaming equipment that glows like a futuristic altar, an investment of hundreds of millions built solely for him. Lin Feng's clenched fists tremble, his body humming with the wild energy of the bovine gene fusion. Yet his eyes betray anxiety about the lingering illness. A series of quick cuts show machines scanning, lights flickering, as Dr. Lu observes the data. Dr. Lu's expression darkens, his eyes narrowing with each new readout. Lin Xiong and Luo Xiaoding watch the doctor, their faces tight and posture rigid. Lin Xiong asks, Lu, is something wrong? A close-up captures Dr. Lu's face, his eyes reflecting concern. Dr. Lu drops a report, his mouth forming a strained smile. Dr. Lu places the report on the hollow table, his voice trembling as he says, something's not right. The others listen intently. Dr. Lu reads from the report, stating that young Master Feng's organs are still failing and nothing has changed. Dr. Lu continues, noting that despite the organ failure, Feng's body has changed greatly. His cells are full of energy. Dr. Lu declares, this is really abnormal. The family absorbs the confusing explanation, the tension palpable. A flashback begins, shifting the scene to a memory. Young Lin Feng appears as a frail young one, a faint glow of wild energy emerging around him. His cells now pulse with power, making him far stronger than any adult. The flashback ends, returning to the present. Lin Xiong, thoughtful, taps his chin as he ponders, then asks, Doctor. Lin Xiong turns to Dr. Lu, asking whether Feng's illness remains but his body is unusually strong, contrary to common sense. Dr. Lu is captured in a tight shot, his expression tightening as he prepares to answer. Dr. Lu's eyes widen as he stammers, Dr. Lu nods, replying, "That's true." Dr. Lu stammers, his hesitation evident. Lin Xiong raises his eyebrows and suggests, "What if Fenger has some success in practicing martial arts?" Dr. Lu is shown in a tight close-up, his face illuminated by the sterile lights of the high-tech medical suite. A spark of realization flashes in Dr. Lu's eyes as he asks about the success of practicing martial arts. Dr. Lu whispers that the possibility might actually happen, his voice low as the idea dawns on him. The family gathers around Dr. Lu, bowing their heads in gratitude as they thank him. The family bows their heads while Dr. Lu acknowledges them, saying, "All right, Doctor." Dr. Lu thanks the family and steps out, his silhouette fading into the corridor's glow. Lin Feng stands beside his hospital bed, a faint metallic aura shimmering around him as he steps forward. Energy crackles around Lin Feng's shaking arms as he declares his newfound insight into martial arts. "My whole body is filled with energy. I feel like I'm not a patient," Lin Feng proclaims. A conflicted expression crosses Lin Feng's face as he admits that his illness remains untreatable, even with the wild bovine fusion. Lin Xiong smiles gently and looks deeply at his son, praising his ability to practice martial arts. "We fully support you," echoes softly in the room. "If you need anything, just tell us." The voice reassures the patient. A wide shot captures the empty doorway as Mr. Truncated remains unseen, and Mrs. is heard faintly, hinting at a continuation beyond the foyer. Lin Xiong nods, clasping his hands, while the parents give brief instructions and then step away, leaving Lin Feng alone in the high-tech recuperation chamber. Lin Feng rises from the medical bed, his eyes bright with determination as he shakes his arms, the motion echoing his newfound vigor. A surge of luminous energy floods the room, confirming the checkup's revelation that his genes have fused and his fitness has skyrocketed. The camera pulls back to reveal the entire medical suite, its lights pulsing in rhythm with the humming air, as Lin Feng steadies himself, ready to push his limits. The sterile white glow of the medical room bathes the rows of sleek nutrient solution tanks, each humming softly. At the center, a stainless steel table supports a towering vial of high-grade nutrient solution, its liquid shimmering like crystal. Lin Feng steps forward, his silhouette sharp against the clinical backdrop, eyes fixed on the vial. His clenched fist grips the syringe tightly, the metal gleaming under the harsh light. He raises the syringe, plunges the needle into the vial, and injects the first shot. The liquid surges into his arm with a faint electric hiss, and his body recoils as if thirsting for the surge. He repeats the motion, second shot, third shot, each injection accompanied by a quick, sharp gasp. A rapid cut reveals his torso, veins pulsing bright as the fifth syringe empties. The fifth shot finishes. Lin Feng's shoulders hunch forward, his breath ragged. His lean frame trembles, muscles twitching, a subtle bulge forming along his ribs as his body greedily absorbs the nutrients. He stands with hands on hips, a faint glow outlining his silhouette, embodying the shift within. He wipes a bead of sweat from his brow, eyes narrowing as the unfamiliar heaviness settles into his limbs. Though his clothes still drape loosely, a silent acknowledgement passes through him. Something inside has shifted dramatically. Lin Feng's eyes widen as a faint holographic shimmer flickers across his skin. After a minute, Lin Feng blinks open his eyes. A translucent hologram blooms from the device on his wrist, projecting a cascade of neon blue data. The stats flash: Physique 8.41, Strength 8.18, Agility 6.56. The skill list appears: Basic Fist Technique, Proficient, Wild Bovine's Might, Mastered. The genetic fusion readout shows Wild Bovine 100% with genetic capacity 6%. The numbers pulse with a soft electric beat, emphasizing the magnitude of his transformation. Lin Feng stands amid the glowing data, the room charged with electric blue. A determined grin spreads across Lin Feng's face. He drops into a low crouch, muscles coiling like a spring, then straightens, channeling every ounce of newfound power into his right fist. A slow motion close-up on his clenched fist, a faint aura rippling around it. He slams the fist into the calibrated strength-testing instrument. The impact erupts with a resonant bang. A shockwave ripples outward, the metal plate trembling, dust scattering in a brief plume. Tight on the instrument's digital display, numbers flickering up. The readout spikes, 895 kilograms. The needle jerks to the high mark, the digits glowing crimson. Lin Feng's eyebrows lift in astonishment, his breath catching as he processes the raw force he just unleashed. Lin Feng narrows his eyes as a faint aura of power glows around his torso, the camera looking up at his profile. Lin Feng inhales deeply, his muscles tightening as he prepares for the next surge of power. A vivid memory of a massive horned wild bovine charging through mist flashes in Lin Feng's mind. With a guttural chant of wild bovine's might, Lin Feng summons the primal image, his body trembling as the beast's spirit courses through him. A translucent silhouette of a wild bovine roars behind Lin Feng as the camera tilts dramatically. Lin Feng thrusts his fist forward again, channeling the surge of strength. The second impact detonates louder, the instrument shudders violently, and a metallic clang echoes through the room. The display surges, the needle climbs to 1,920 kilograms. A hiss of displaced air follows, and the room's lights flicker in response to the sheer force. The readout blazes with numbers. Then the camera pulls back to reveal Lin Feng's triumphant expression. Lin Feng draws a cold breath, his chest rising as a fierce grin spreads across his face. Lin Feng reflects on the numbers, recalling that the strength is nearly 4 times that of a grade 4 martial artist, the same power that once knocked Du Chong unconscious with a single punch. Lin Feng turns toward the holographic interface, his silhouette framed by the glowing data streams. The wrist device flickers, projecting a new set of thoughts. The genetic fusion device can still continue to fuse with other genes. The indicator shows capacity at 6%. Only the most suitable genes should be fused. A prompt flashes. Choose techniques that match, comprehend true intent. Lin Feng's hand hovers over the holographic controls as the text scrolls across the display. Lin Feng's gaze sharpens, his eyes narrowing as the possibilities of the gene fusion device crystallize in his mind. He envisions future fusions, discarding frivolous genes of kittens and puppies and concentrating on potent, combat-ready DNA. The camera pulls back, bathing the medical room in a deep blue hue. As Lin Feng stands poised, the future of his power unfolding before him. In a wide establishing shot of the sleek laboratory, neon blue light spills from the humming gene fusion device onto a polished steel table while Lin Feng watches the readouts. He lifts a slender vial, places it into the chamber, and presses a button. A thin column of electric blue light shoots upward, wrapping the vial in a swirling aura that contracts and fades within seconds. A close-up on Lin Feng's hand steadies the device. Then the shot pulls back to reveal his calm posture as his eyes narrow slightly while he considers the options. He moves a series of sliders, each labeled with different gene names, pausing at each one as if weighing a decision. The camera lingers on his deliberate gestures, emphasizing the slow, careful selection required for the fusion. After dinner, Lin Qian steps out of the doorway, pulling Lin Feng gently by the sleeve toward the garden. She speaks with a mysterious smile. "Brother, are you all right tonight? There's a fashion exhibition in the city today. Come with me." Under moonlit trees with rustling leaves, Lin Feng turns his head toward Lin Qian. His brow furrows as he asks, "Tell me, who else is coming aside from you?" His voice carries curiosity, his posture relaxed yet attentive. Lin Qian's eyes brighten as she replies, "There's also Sister Chu Chun," her tone steady. Lin Qian lifts her hand, as if opening a secret, and asks her brother if he knows what Sister Chu Chun wants. Lin Qian declares that the plan was her idea and that Sister Chu Chun agreed to it. Lin Qian implores her brother to accompany her this time. Lin Qian reminds him that she already promised Sister Chun that he would definitely come. Lin Feng falls silent, his mouth trembling slightly as his gaze drifts toward the garden's distant lanterns. The camera captures the subtle tension in Lin Feng's shoulders, hinting at the weight of his hidden illness. A younger Lin Feng lies on a narrow hospital bed in a dimly lit room, the sterile monitor beeping softly. A doctor's hand hovers over a chart marked 3 years, and Lin Feng clutches his chest, his eyes widening as the prognosis sinks in. The scene blurs, emphasizing the fleeting nature of his remaining time. The flashback ends, returning to the present. Back in the garden, Lin Qian's expression softens as she says, "Lin Qian, you should know my condition." Lin Feng whispers that it's impossible for Chu Chan and him, his voice trailing off as his shoulders slump slightly. From a low angle, Lin Qian smiles determinedly and asks, "Brother, why are you overthinking like this?" A voice declares that no matter the situation, being happy is the most important thing in life. Someone replies, "All right, I'll take it that you've agreed." The speaker says they will go pick up Sister Chuchen first. A voice promises, "When the time comes, we'll meet at Starlight Cafe in the north of the city." Lin Qian turns sharply on the stone path, her steps echoing as she walks away, indifferent to his response. Lin Feng stands alone, head tilted back, a faint sigh escaping him as he shakes his head and forms a small, resigned smile. He turns toward the house, his movements deliberate as he heads back inside. In his bedroom, Lin Feng changes into a crisp dark jacket, buttoning it with precise motions. He pauses at a mirror, adjusts his tie, then strides toward the sleek black car parked in the driveway. The car glides through neon-lit streets, its headlights slicing the night as it heads toward the northern district. In the distance, the Starlight Cafe sign flickers, a beacon of warmth amid the bustling urban landscape.